Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those new here, hi, my name's Jenny. I'm a third-year family medicine resident and a mom of two. And by the time you guys are watching this, I will be complete with my residency. So a long time ago, I made a video on how I got into med school. You guys really liked that video, but now that I am almost an attending, I am reflecting back and just seeing some of the things that I wish I would have done differently. So if you guys are interested in this video, then keep on watching. So a little bit of backstory about myself for those new here. I am a first generation Vietnamese American. My mom is super strict, and so back in high school I didn't really do anything to boost my resume out of extracurricular activity wise. I didn't play any sports because she didn't let me, and then my freshman year in college I was still discovering myself and partying. But you know, like just having fun. And so I didn't really start my med school journey until like second year, sophomore year of college. And so if you guys think that it's too late for you, or it's later in your college and you finally want to pursue medicine, like you can still do that. I went to UC San Diego. I majored in biochemistry and minored in dance. My GPA was average for science. It was a 3.0, which is the minimum that you need to apply for med school at that time. With my other classes, I had a 3.6 average GPA. So my MCAT was, I don't know, I don't even remember because it was so long ago, but I remember taking it twice and I remember it was just like average. I wasn't amazing or anything like that. And I tell students, pre-medical students and med students who are applying to residency all the time that you are more than just a number and you are more than just a score. So when they look at you, they look at your application as a whole. And so if you have a bad grade, if you have a bad MCAT score, they look at other things like what makes you different. Do you have other strengths? Like, did you volunteer? Did you publish? Research, things like that. And everybody has weaknesses, but the strengths that you bring to the table are what makes you different and what makes up for those insufficiencies or weaknesses. So some things that I personally did to boost up my med school application: I was part of Phi Delta Epsilon. It's a pre-medical fraternity. I felt that when I was there, I was with like-minded people who were a lot smarter than I was and really motivated. And so that helped me get on the right track towards like med school and pre-med. They also gave me a lot of opportunities like work. I landed a job at a histology technician where I processed slides and did immunochemistry. I also did clinical career extenders, which was volunteer work where I volunteered in like labor delivery, ICU, med search, and things like that. I did mission trips to Vietnam where we set up rural clinics for primary care and prevention. We did lots of PAPs and LEAPs and contraception, and we also had a cardiologist, a pediatrician, so a lot of primary care and counseling and things like that. I did Healing Hearts Across Borders, where we went to Tijuana with primary care physicians and did a lot of counseling, contraception counseling, and urgent care kind of stuff, which was all super amazing and really fun. I also shadowed a DO who specifically did osteopathic manipulative treatment for approximately 3 years prior to going into med school. And so I think that I had a pretty good letter of recommendation. And finally, I took a year off to get all my ducks in a row, I would say, before I applied to med school. So I don't regret any of those things, but some of the things I wish I would have done, and this is in no particular order, is one, I wish I was a scribe. So I had lots of odd jobs, like I bartended, I was a host, a server, and not a realtor. I worked in retail, but I wish I worked as a scribe. And because you experience so much medicine as a scribe. You get to follow different subspecialties and learn what they're all about, see their schedules, and see if that's the right fit for you, if you like medicine. And also, it teaches you a lot of medicine. So once you actually go into medical school, it will actually put you ahead of others because you're already exposed to clinical medicine. And then once you're attending, you get to know, like, you know how to write fast notes. And so being a scribe is amazing and benefits you in lots of different forms. So if you can, try to find a job as a scribe because I feel like it's so beneficial. Number two, I wish I would have worked on my own mental health earlier. I love who I am now. I feel like I went through like lots of therapy throughout my residency, and I'm so much more comfortable in my own skin. I have more confidence, I have more self-love, and in turn, it has enabled me to love others and to uplift others in a more like nurturing kind of way. And I wish I had that more when I was younger. I feel like I had a lot of trauma, you know, like as I said, my parents were divorced, my mom was really, really strict. And so I had to learn a lot of forgiveness for her and for me. And I felt like I wasn't able to truly love others until I was able to love myself. So I think that anyone and everyone can benefit from counseling. So if you haven't already, take advantage of that at your school or anywhere that has free counseling. Check it out, see if you like it. Number three, I wish I would have started a Roth IRA earlier. So if you guys saw my last video or a previous video, I told you guys that I started a Roth earlier this year and we put $6,000 in there, but I don't know why, like I just didn't throw in a couple hundred like here and there. A Roth IRA is some money that is already been taxed, so the benefit is now that you're making less money when you're younger, they tax you less and you put it into a Roth IRA, it grows tax-free, and then you take it out when you're older and it's not penalized, like it's not taxed. And so, you know, like I think I was just scared. I was just nervous and I thought that I had to put in more money or I didn't have money to put in. So this time I started a Robinhood just to like get comfortable with like what stocks to buy or how to trade and all that stuff. And then I opened a Schwab account. We were considering Vanguard versus Schwab, but we got a Schwab account because I got $100 and there's an app. But that being said, I also want to make note that I did take out loans for college and for medical school, and I am in $350,000 in medical school debt, and I don't regret that at all, like zero. So I'm gonna say for people in the back, like I don't regret medical school debt at all. And I know Dave Ramsey fans are gonna be really mad, but let me tell you why. Because the acceptance rate into medical school is about 40%. If you're trying to get to Harvard, it's going to be 3%. And so you're going to tell me that you're going to spend all these years to save up money, like thousands of dollars, to pay for med school, and maybe that year that you get in, you don't have enough money, so you're going to hold it off. There's no guarantees that you're going to get in the next year. And also your MCAT expires. So I forget when it was, but I think like you have to take it within 3 years of, or you have to apply to med school within 3 years of taking your MCAT. And so 2 or 3 years, I'm not exactly sure, don't quote me on that, but you know, it does expire. And so you have to retake the test, you have to reapply. Applications are expensive, interviews are expensive. And so it just doesn't make sense for me personally, because I come from a very poor family. Like I had to take out loans for everything. I took out loans to pay for tuition, to pay for books, to pay for food, to pay for housing, to pay for gas, all those things. My mom was not able to help me because she had to feed 3 other people. And then it was either loans or scholarships. And that was it. And I don't regret that at all, because I know I'm going to have a secure job when I finish this. I'm going to pay my loans off in 3 to 5 years. It's not that big of a deal for me. It's not a burden, and I love who I am and the job that I have and the life that I created. Number 4, I wish I would have traveled more. Like, I wish I did like a semester abroad or something like that. And I say this over and over again, but it's more than just medical knowledge, and it's just more than books that make you a good doctor. Your life experiences make you a good doctor, and the more that you experience, the more you're able to connect with people, and the more that patients feel that you understand them, the better health outcomes you get. And so I say, go out there, make mistakes, learn more about yourself, because all those things make you a great person and a great doctor. And if you don't have the money to travel, then that's fine. Read more, because your life experiences is based on the people that you meet. And so if there's not enough diversity in your interactions, then read about diversity. In med school, I don't think I have any regrets about med school, just because, I had great friends, I passed boards, I got into the residency, my top choice. I love my specialty that I'm in, so not much complaints there. I say the one thing that I wish I would have done more in med school is ask for feedback more consistently. And I think I didn't do this in the beginning. It's because I was really scared. I was, it's uncomfortable to tell an attending, hey, how do I do? And expecting to hear them say, like, you suck. You really suck. How are you even here? Like, why are you even in med school? Kind of thing. Like, that was my brain. Like, I was so negative and tearing myself down constantly in my head. So even if I wasn't that, like, that was what I was thinking. And so it wasn't until later on, when I became more confident, that I started asking for feedback more. And I asked for feedback a lot more in residency than I did in med school. So when you come in and you say that this is who I am, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I want to learn, and please give me feedback to see if I'm doing that. And so you say that at the beginning, and then you check in at the end of the day. You check in again a few days later. You check in a week. And you do that consistently throughout your rotation. This shows the attending that you are willing to learn, and that you are willing to listen to what your insufficiencies are, where your weaknesses are, and you're willing to improve on those things. So it's a lot more to someone than your knowledge. It is, how trainable are you? Are you willing to listen? Are you willing to learn? And that is probably more important than what you know. I guess another thing I wish I would have kept up more is my physical health. I think the last time I worked out consistently was when I was pregnant with London, and I used to work out like 4 to 5 times a week when I was in med school, and it just made my brain like sharper. I had more energy, my body felt good, and exercise is one of the only known things to decrease the rate of dementia and Alzheimer's. And so I really want to work on my physical health again now that I have a little bit more free time. So a lot of you guys asked me, would I do this all again, or would I choose a different profession like PA, since the training is less, and that the tuition is less, you'll have less debt. And I think that this is very dependent on who you are, what your goals are, what you're looking for in a career. Me personally, like, I love that I'm a physician, because I really need to know like everything. Like, I get excited about diagnoses and learning the pathophysiology of things, and I need autonomy. I want to possibly start my own practice one day, and I love osteopathic manipulative medicine. Like, I love OMT, and that being a DO is the only way that I would be able to do that. And so yes, a PA route might be good for someone else, but me personally, it's not the right path for me. And so if I were to do it all again, like, yes, I probably do this all again in a heartbeat. And would I do this if I had kids? I'm not sure. If I had really young kids, maybe I'd wait a little bit for them to get older, because med school takes a lot of time. But that's me personally, because I miss them growing up so much. Like, I feel like them being young is like, they're so loving and they're not gonna love me like this forever. You know, like when they're 13, they're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out and play with my friends. Like, even now, why it's like, I wanna go play with my friends. I don't wanna play with you, mom. They're only gonna wanna cuddle me for this short time. And so I'm gonna take all that in and, I don't know, soak in it. I don't regret getting married in med school. I don't regret having Wyatt in med school. I don't regret having London in residency. I don't regret taking some time off to be with my family and extending residency for a couple weeks. I don't regret any of those things at all. And so, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something and take from my mistakes or lost opportunities. If you guys have any questions at all, please leave them in the comment section below. I read through all your comments and I try to respond to as many as I can. As always, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.